Let's talk strictly about the topic. When we say a food is rich in muscle-activating nutrients, what does that really mean, especially for seniors trying to regain strength in their legs? This isn't about superfoods or marketing hype. This is about real nutritional elements that your muscles physiologically require in order to contract, stabilize, and support movement, especially after the age of 60, when natural muscle loss or sarcopenia becomes a serious health concern. Muscles don't just move on their own. Every time you stand up from a chair, take a step forward, or even shift your balance to prevent a fall, a series of electrical and chemical signals fire off in your body. Those signals depend on minerals like potassium and magnesium to activate and regulate muscular response. Without these, your muscles become sluggish, unresponsive, or weak. This isn't about feeling tired. This is about muscles physically being unable to do what you ask of them, even if your mind is sharp and willing. Now here's the catch. Many seniors are unknowingly deficient in both potassium and magnesium. Why? Because with age, absorption of nutrients decreases. Medications often interfere with mineral balance, and appetite can change due to lower energy needs or digestive issues. Even people who eat what they think is a balanced diet may not be getting enough of these two vital nutrients, and the consequences can be subtle but life-altering. You may begin to feel unsteady on your feet, find it difficult to climb stairs, or experience leg cramps at night. These are all warning signs that your muscles aren't firing properly and they are calling out for specific support. Let's look at potassium first. This mineral works as an electrolyte, meaning it helps conduct the electrical impulses necessary for muscle contraction. It plays a direct role in controlling muscle tone and preventing spasms or cramps. Without enough potassium, muscles may contract weakly or not at all. And it's not just about large movements. Potassium also affects the micro movements that keep your balance stable while you walk or shift position. That's critical for fall prevention. Next is magnesium. While potassium acts like a spark, magnesium is like the oil that keeps everything running smoothly. It helps regulate muscle relaxation after contraction. In other words, it prevents your muscles from seizing up, twitching involuntarily, or feeling sore after only a little movement. Magnesium also supports the function of nerves that control the muscles, adding another layer of strength to the system. A magnesium-deficient muscle can feel fatigued even after rest. That's why some seniors feel exhausted just walking across a room. It's not a lack of will, it's a lack of mineral support. There's one more component here that's often overlooked: amino acids. Proteins are made of amino acids, and muscles are made of protein. Without amino acids, your body can't repair or grow muscle tissue. This becomes increasingly important with age because the rate at which your body breaks down muscle exceeds the rate at which it rebuilds it unless you intervene with proper nutrition. Some specific amino acids, like leucine, play a central role in muscle protein synthesis. If you don't eat foods that supply this, even the best exercise routine won't lead to meaningful strength gains. When you consume a food that naturally contains this triad: potassium, magnesium, and essential amino acids, you're not just eating, you're fueling the very process of movement. You're empowering your body to re-engage muscles that may have gone quiet. You're giving your nervous system the tools it needs to reconnect to those muscles and activate them properly. And you're helping your legs do what they were designed to do: support you, stabilize you, and move you forward. This isn't theory. Clinical research backs the role of these nutrients in maintaining muscle strength, improving balance, and enhancing overall mobility in older adults. The best part? The effects can be felt surprisingly fast. Once your body has access to these missing elements, it begins to respond, sometimes in hours. Not in a dramatic or overnight transformation, but in small, measurable changes, like feeling more grounded when you stand, noticing your legs don't shake quite as much, or being able to walk a bit longer without fatigue. These moments matter. So, when we talk about eating to regain leg strength, it's not just about calories or healthy eating in general. It's about precision. It's about identifying the exact nutrients that muscles are begging for and delivering them in a form your body can absorb and use right now. And the real question becomes, what food can offer that combination in the right balance, with easy digestion and without side effects? That's where the next piece of this conversation begins. Said. Let's talk strictly about the topic. What does it actually mean when we say a certain food increases circulation to your legs? And why does that matter so much for seniors trying to regain or maintain leg strength? This isn't just a general claim. It has everything to do with how your muscles receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to function, recover, and stay active. Circulation is more than just blood moving through the body. It's the lifeline of muscular vitality, and, for seniors, it's often the hidden factor behind fatigue, instability, and even pain. When blood flow is poor, especially to the lower extremities, muscles don't get what they need to thrive. Blood is the delivery system for oxygen, glucose, amino acids, electrolytes, and everything else muscles use as fuel. If circulation is weak, that delivery system slows down or becomes inconsistent. Your leg muscles are then left undernourished, underpowered, and slower to respond. That means when you try to rise from a chair or go for a walk, your body struggles more than it should, not because you're not trying, but because your legs are simply not getting the support they require on a cellular level. It's also important to understand what causes reduced circulation in the first place. As we age, blood vessels tend to lose their elasticity, making it harder for blood to travel freely. Sedentary habits, which become more common in older adulthood, can worsen this. When you sit for long periods, especially with knees bent, the flow of blood down to the calves and feet is restricted. Conditions like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or even chronic inflammation further damage the small blood vessels and nerves, especially in the lower limbs. The result? Cold feet, tingling, numbness, and that heavy leg sensation seniors often describe, not weakness from muscle loss alone, but weakness due to poor delivery of oxygen-rich blood. This is why certain foods that enhance circulation matter so much. When you eat something that naturally stimulates better blood flow, you are essentially feeding your legs the energy they've been starved of. This can help wake up tired muscles, reduce cramping, and improve endurance. You may notice your legs feeling lighter, more responsive, and more stable even without adding extra physical activity at first. The food works from the inside, improving the body's internal pathways before the external movement even begins. So how does a food increase circulation? There are a few mechanisms involved. One is through natural nitrates, which convert into nitric oxide in the body. Nitric oxide relaxes and widens blood vessels, allowing blood to move more freely. This improves oxygen delivery and can reduce blood pressure at the same time. Another mechanism involves antioxidants that protect the inner lining of blood vessels from damage. When this lining, called the endothelium, is healthy, it can better regulate the expansion and contraction of arteries, keeping circulation efficient. Then there are anti-inflammatory compounds, which reduce chronic inflammation that can otherwise block or narrow blood vessels, especially in the legs. When you consume foods rich in these properties, you're not just nourishing your body in a general sense, you're specifically targeting one of the most common and under-addressed issues in senior health: compromised circulation to the legs. Improved blood flow helps restore vitality to the muscles, support the joints, reduce swelling, and make physical movement feel less effortful. That means more confident walking, better balance, and a reduced risk of falls. The result is subtle at first, but powerful over time. You may feel less stiffness in the morning. You may notice that walking across the room doesn't take as much out of you. You may even begin to experience fewer nighttime leg cramps or cold feet. These aren't coincidences. They are signs that your body is finally getting the nourishment it needs because circulation is improving. And that means your legs are getting a second chance at life. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all circulation-boosting foods are equally effective. Some have stronger concentrations of these key compounds. Some are absorbed better. Some come with added benefits like lowering inflammation or supporting nerve function. Knowing exactly which food can deliver these results without side effects is critical. Because if you're going to make one small change to support your leg strength, it should be one that activates this powerful internal system, your circulatory network. That leads us to a very specific food that has been studied for this exact purpose. It doesn't just claim to boost circulation, it actually does. And understanding how to include it in your daily routine could be the missing link between struggling with weakness and finally regaining the steady, confident strength you deserve. Let's get into it on the next page. Let's talk strictly about the topic. When we say that this particular food helps reduce inflammation in the legs, what does that truly mean, and why is it crucial for seniors aiming to regain strength and comfort in their lower limbs? Inflammation is one of the most underestimated factors affecting leg function, yet it plays a massive role in how your muscles feel, how well your joints move, and how confident you are in your everyday mobility. Reducing it isn't just about feeling better, it's about restoring functionality that aging often steals away slowly and subtly. Inflammation, at its core, is the body's natural response to injury or stress. When tissues are irritated, the immune system sends in various cells and chemicals to begin the repair process. This can be helpful in the short term, but the problem arises when inflammation becomes chronic, meaning it sticks around long after it's needed. This kind of lingering inflammation is especially common in older adults and often settles in areas like the knees, hips, ankles, and feet. The result is stiffness, swelling, pain, and reduced range of motion, all of which directly weaken your legs by making movement more difficult and discouraging physical activity. Now, the food we're talking about plays a critical role here. Certain nutrients naturally counteract this chronic inflammation by signaling the body to reduce its inflammatory response. Some compounds even help clean up the harmful byproducts that inflammation leaves behind, things like free radicals and damaged proteins which otherwise linger in the joints and tissues and make the problem worse. This food doesn't act like a painkiller that masks the discomfort. Instead, it targets the deeper cause, the chemical messengers in your body that keep triggering unnecessary inflammation. Why does this matter so much for seniors? Because inflammation isn't just uncomfortable, it actively breaks down muscle and joint tissue over time. That breakdown leads to a slow erosion of strength. You may think your legs are getting weaker just because of aging, but often, they're getting weaker. Because inflammation is making it harder for muscles to fire properly and for joints to move smoothly. That's why even basic movements like climbing stairs or walking around the block can feel like a major effort. Your muscles are pushing against a background of tension and swelling that shouldn't be there in the first place. Imagine if you could calm that inflammation at the source, not by relying on over-the-counter medications with side effects, but through a natural food that works in harmony with your body. That's exactly the potential we're discussing. This particular food contains key anti-inflammatory nutrients like omega fatty acids, polyphenols, and antioxidants. Each of these components has been shown in studies to reduce the levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Those are the chemical signals that keep the inflammation cycle going. By dampening those signals, the food helps lower the inflammatory burden on your legs. There's something else important to understand here. Chronic leg inflammation doesn't just affect your muscles, it also interferes with your nerves. When tissues are inflamed, the nearby nerves become more sensitive. That means you're more likely to feel pain, tingling, or even burning sensations in your legs and feet. This nerve irritation can further discourage you from moving, and over time, lack of movement leads to even more inflammation, a cycle that slowly worsens unless you break it. And one of the simplest, most accessible ways to begin breaking that cycle is by regularly including foods that lower inflammation naturally. The effect might not be dramatic in a single day, but as the days pass and the inflammation gradually eases, your legs begin to respond. You might notice a little less stiffness when you stand up in the morning. Walking might feel slightly smoother. A tight joint might feel looser. These small signs are proof that the food is doing its work inside your body, restoring balance where chaos once ruled. It's a gentle reset, but a powerful one. The bottom line is this: inflammation is not just a symptom of aging, a condition that can be managed, reversed, and controlled. And when it comes to the legs, reducing inflammation means unlocking strength that was always there but hidden under layers of tension and irritation. By introducing this food, you're not just changing your diet, you're giving your body a tool it can use to repair, restore, and rebuild the parts of your legs that are still capable of great things. And this is just the beginning, because once the inflammation begins to calm down, the real progress can start, and the food you'll discover next holds an even deeper promise. You said, ChatGPT said. Let's talk strictly about the topic. When we say that this particular food helps improve blood flow to the legs, we're addressing something far more important than just circulation. We're talking about a foundation of leg health that many seniors don't even realize is weakening over time. Poor blood flow isn't always dramatic. It doesn't always come with pain or swelling right away. But over months and years, it silently robs the legs of strength, stamina, and the ability to heal. So, what does it really mean when a food supports better circulation, and why does that matter so much for leg strength? Blood flow is how the body delivers oxygen, nutrients, and life-sustaining compounds to every muscle and tissue. When you eat food that improves circulation, what you're really doing is unlocking the delivery system your legs depend on to stay strong and functional. Think of blood vessels like highways. If those highways are narrowed, blocked, or damaged, the traffic of oxygen and nutrients can't get through. Your leg muscles start to suffer, not because they're weak, but because they're starved of the support they need. In seniors, poor circulation often develops gradually. Arteries may stiffen, small capillaries may close off, and blood may pool instead of flowing efficiently. This reduces the supply of oxygen to the muscle tissues, which are then less able to contract and recover. That's why a simple walk can lead to cramping. It's not just that your legs are tired, it's that they're being deprived of the fuel they need to keep going. And when this continues for too long, muscle mass can actually begin to shrink. This is a condition called sarcopenia, and poor circulation plays a major role in how quickly it progresses. Now, when we say a certain food helps increase blood flow, we're referring to its ability to support the health of your blood vessels, particularly the endothelium, the thin lining inside every vein and artery. This lining regulates how wide or narrow the vessels become. Certain foods contain compounds like nitrates, flavonoids, or specific amino acids that help the endothelium function better. They help the vessels relax and open up, allowing more blood to reach your lower body with each heartbeat. It's not about forcing your heart to work harder, it's about helping the system flow more easily. Let's go a level deeper. Improved blood flow also removes waste products more efficiently. Every time your muscles move, they generate byproducts like lactic acid and carbon dioxide. If your blood flow is weak, these byproducts build up in the muscle, causing fatigue and soreness. When blood moves freely, it carries these wastes away and replaces them with fresh oxygen and nutrients. This cycle is critical for healing, after activity, and for maintaining the energy your muscles need to keep functioning. Without it, even small activities can feel draining. What makes this discussion urgent for seniors is the fact that your circulation naturally slows with age. Arterias lose flexibility, and inflammation can further damage the vessel walls. The longer this continues unchecked, the more strain is placed on your heart, and the less nourishment reaches your legs. This can even result in a condition called peripheral artery disease (PAD), which is alarmingly common in older adults. It can cause pain while walking, slow healing of cuts or bruises on the legs, and cold or numb feet. So improving blood flow isn't just about strength, it's about safety and preserving independence. The food in question here helps because it contains a powerful mix of natural compounds that support healthy vessel function. It may increase nitric oxide production in the body, which helps vessels relax and expand. It may also provide antioxidants that protect vessel walls from oxidative damage. These actions together improve the flow of blood in and out of the legs, making the muscles more responsive, less fatigued, and better able to repair after activity. The benefits are not just theoretical. Seniors who consistently include this food in their routine often report improved endurance, less leg cramping, and greater confidence in standing and walking. But there's a final reason why this matters. When blood flow improves, everything in the lower body from muscle tone to joint health to nerve sensitivity functions better. It's like restoring the power supply to a part of the body that was operating at half strength. You might not see the changes overnight, but you will begin to feel them. A little more steadiness when you rise from a chair. A little more energy after a walk. These moments are signals that circulation is improving, and this is where the story really starts to get interesting. Because once blood flow is restored, your body becomes ready for something even more powerful, the kind of muscle regeneration and joint support we'll explore next. Let's talk strictly about the topic. When we say that hydration can make a noticeable difference in leg strength, especially for seniors, we're not making a vague wellness statement. We're highlighting a critical, often overlooked factor that has direct, measurable consequences on your muscle performance, joint health, and mobility. Hydration isn't just about avoiding thirst, it's about ensuring that your body has the fluid it needs to perform the countless, unseen functions that make strength possible in the first place. Your muscles are made up of nearly 75% water. This isn't just an interesting fact, it's a key to understanding why even mild dehydration can make your legs feel weak, cramp easily, or tire faster than usual. When your body doesn't have enough water, your muscles don't contract properly. They become stiff, less responsive, and more prone to fatigue. Think about it. If the tissue that supports every step you take is even slightly dehydrated, its performance will suffer. That means slower movement, reduced coordination, and greater risk of falls. But hydration affects more than just the muscles. It also supports the health of your joints. Your knees, hips, and ankles depend on synovial fluid, a slippery substance that cushions and lubricates your joints. That fluid is largely composed of water. Without proper hydration, it becomes thinner and less effective, leading to friction, discomfort, and inflammation. For seniors, whose joints are already more vulnerable due to wear and tear over the years, this lack of cushioning can make leg movement painful and hesitant. And when movement becomes painful, activity levels drop, which accelerates weakness. It's a cycle, but one that water can interrupt. Let's also consider blood volume. Hydration directly impacts your circulation by maintaining the right volume of blood in your system. With insufficient water intake, blood becomes thicker and harder to pump. That means your heart must work harder to move it through your body, and your muscles may not get the oxygen and nutrients they need in a timely way. For your legs, this can translate into poor endurance, delayed recovery from activity, and increased muscle soreness. Simply drinking water, or eating hydrating foods like cucumbers or watermelon, can improve circulation efficiency without any additional supplements or medications. There's also the nervous system to consider. Nerve signals, those rapid electrical messages that tell your muscles when and how to move, depend on proper electrolyte balance. And hydration plays a central role in maintaining that balance. Sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium all rely on water for transport and cellular function. When you're dehydrated, these minerals can't do their jobs effectively, and nerve signals may misfire. This leads to muscle cramps, shaky movements, or that unsteady feeling when you stand. For seniors, these are more than inconveniences, they're potential safety hazards. But again, the solution can be as simple as steady, consistent hydration. One of the most common mistakes is thinking that thirst is the first sign you need water. In seniors, the sense of thirst often becomes less accurate with age. By the time you feel thirsty, your body may already be operating at a deficit. That's why hydration has to be a proactive habit, not just a reaction to dry mouth. Sipping water throughout the day, choosing foods with high water content, and limiting dehydrating beverages like coffee or alcohol can make a measurable difference in how strong and stable your legs feel even within a single day. And if you're someone who already drinks water regularly but still feels weak, it may be worth considering how you're absorbing it. Hydration isn't only about intake, it's also about retention. Conditions like diabetes, certain medications, and low levels of electrolytes can all affect how well your body retains fluid. This is why some seniors benefit from adding a pinch of sea salt or an electrolyte solution to their water, especially after activity or during warmer weather. Helps the body hold on to the hydration where it's needed most. The bottom line is this: strong legs aren't just about exercise or diet alone. They're also about the small, daily habits that keep the entire system running smoothly. And hydration is one of the simplest, most overlooked habits of all. It doesn't require special equipment, fancy supplements, or even much time. It just requires consistency and awareness. When you give your muscles, joints, and nerves the hydration they need, you give them the environment they need to function at their best. And sometimes, the difference can be felt within hours: a little more energy when walking, fewer cramps at night, better stability when standing. These are quiet victories, but powerful ones. And just as hydration sets the stage for strength, the next element we'll explore builds directly upon it, adding the kind of nutritional support that transforms improved function into lasting power.